Welcome to the Value Integrity Code of Conduct Annual Refresher Training Session. At DFA, we live every day guided by our values of integrity, accountability, community, innovation, quality, and passion. In this training, we will be focusing on integrity. Our Code of Conduct policies are the foundation of our commitment to integrity, and without it, the company's success would not be achieved. Our Code of Conduct explains what is expected of all employees, provides the ethical and legal standards by which all employees will conduct themselves, and reinforces our uncompromising commitment to integrity. Today, we will review a few value integrity policies, including Code of Conduct awareness, conflicts of interest, anti-retaliation, bullying, harassment, and discrimination, and our integrity helpline. Here is a short video on what the Code of Conduct is and the resources available to you.
Today we're talking about ethics and compliance and the Code of Conduct.
Boring.
Hey, what are you doing?
Just signing some stuff.
A high-interest credit card, liver donor, volunteered for a science experiment. Did you read any of this?
I'm a yes person. No time for details.
Looks like you just certified that you read and understood your company's Code of Conduct.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Do you?
Do I what?
Understand the policies and what's expected of you.
Sure.
Really?
Fine. If it's important, I'll go through all my training again right now. Hey, Carl, what's the answer to questions 1 through 50?
You clearly haven't learned anything.
What's the big deal? It's all common sense anyway.
Oh, okay. Can you accept or give a gift that's over $100, $150, $175?
Maybe.
Can you take a buddy out to dinner and then bury it as an expense to one of your bigger clients?
Only if I've been really good and feel I deserve it.
Can you make a donation to a company's charity in order to win some business?
Well, that depends. Am I ahead or behind my business targets?
Can you copy company software into a flash drive? Can you contract with a company run by your wife's cousin? Can you tell off-color jokes in the break room?
Yes, and it depends on who's in the room.
No, the answer is no.
Okay. I guess there might be a few things I'm not so well versed on.
That's why there's the Code of Conduct. Plus, you can always talk with a manager or contact the Ethics and Compliance Office. And remember, you can always speak up and tell someone if you come across something that you don't think is quite right.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure I'd...
Oh, hey, we have a non-retaliation policy and a helpline that is confidential, so you should always feel comfortable speaking up.
Okay, speaking up!
You don't have to yell.
Is that against the rules?
Nope, it's just a little annoying.
Good to know! Wait, the Code of Conduct is online? Has it been there the whole time?
Oh, boy.
An organization's Code of Conduct clarifies its mission, values, and principles, linking them with standards of professional conduct. The code articulates the values the organization wishes to foster in leaders and employees, and in doing so, defines desired behavior. Additionally, a code is a central guide and reference for employees to support day-to-day decision-making. A code encourages discussions of ethics and compliance and empowers employees to handle ethical dilemmas they encounter in everyday work. The basic principles of the Code of Conduct are recognizing that the responsibility to act with integrity applies to everyone, every day, every way, abiding by and promoting compliance with the law and exemplifying the highest ethical standards in our conduct, and fostering a culture of ethical conduct at DFA. Here is a short video on the topic of conflicts of interest.
Yellow.
How's my big-time executive brother?
I'm good. How are you doing?
That's Richie.
Yeah, I know.
Real quick, Mom tells me you're building that big new complex out by Forest Hills. You know that's right by us. Also, you know how Richie does a lot of the site maintenance in the area. He'd be just perfect for you guys. You should bring him on, because you guys could box and hold hands. I don't know what. Hang out together? Hang out together. You could hang out together because you both wear contacts.
You see eye to eye? Okay, I can't tell what you're doing. Don't you hit me.
I take it back. I wish I didn't do it.
Anyways, Tommy, we missed you over the holidays. So what do you think?
Well, you know, we go through a bidding type selection thing for that. So, oh, look at that. Something from Richie. A proposal.
I'm all over it, Timbuktu!
Can you hear him?
Did ya? Did he hear me?
I think so. Did you send the electric mail?
Electric email. I didn't send it.
He got something from you already.
There are a lot of pop-ups on this thing. This thing is
I don't even
poison.
know what that means.
It's poison.
A conflict of interest occurs where an employee's business relationships, family members, significant others, friends, or associates affect the employee's ability to make sound decisions on behalf of the company that are in the best interest of the company or interfere with the employee's work-related duties. Employees should avoid any behavior or choices that could potentially signal a conflict of interest. Otherwise, it could damage the employee's reputation, integrity, and trustworthiness. Examples are: a relative is hired and reports to a supervisor who manage his or her job responsibilities, salary, and promotions. A supervisor who dates his or her employee. Working part-time for a competitor. Purchasing goods or services from a friend or relative without disclosing the relationship to the company, or accepting a substantial gift from a vendor. Employees are required to act in the best interest of the company and avoid any personal gain that could have a negative impact on the company. An employee should disclose any actual potential or perceived conflict of interest to a supervisor or a member of the ethics and compliance team. Conflicts of interest can be resolved after disclosure if the company agrees to waive the conflict. So now let's test your knowledge. Trip Ryder is a purchaser of lab equipment for the cooperative. His wife is an accountant for Lucky Lab Company. A sales associate at her company sent Trip several boxes of official NFL jerseys, leather varsity jackets, and autographed NFL footballs. Lucky Lab Company is now the exclusive supplier of all lab equipment for the cooperative. Could this be a conflict of interest? Yes, possibly. Conflicts of interest are fact and circumstance specific. Here there appears to be a conflict, and an appearance of a conflict can be equally concerning. Trip's relationship with his wife may interfere with his ability to be impartial when it comes to determining what lab company to select in the bidding process. Also, receiving gifts as described here could also influence Trip to select Lucky Lab Company rather than the company that offers the best opportunities for DFA. Remember, conflicts can be cured or resolved through disclosure. Trip should discuss with his supervisor whether he should remove himself from the vendor selection process and disclose the gifts that he was given so that they can determine whether to accept them. And one more, test your knowledge. Eric has worked for the cooperative in a sales position for several years. On weekends, he gives tours at a small dairy processing facility near his home. And since he is not selling product for the small dairy, he doesn't see a conflict with this outside employment. Is he right? No. While our company never intends to limit our professional development, it's important that we never take on any outside work that could cause a possible conflict. In this case, even though Eric is working for the small dairy in a different position, he may have access to competitive information that could give the cooperative an advantage or affect his job at the cooperative. The small dairy may be interested in more of Eric's time as it grows and seek information about the cooperative's products and customers. The key here is to disclose this outside employment to a supervisor before accepting it and allow the cooperative to assess the situation and handle any potential conflicts appropriately. Here is a video on the topic of retaliation.
Ron, you want to see me about something?
Yeah, well, a few months ago, you said there'd be no retaliation for people who spoke up against compliance violations, and I just feels like I'm being punished.
That is absurd, all right? I think you're imagining things, Ron.
Okay. You're giving the best projects to other people, and you moved my desk out into the hallway.
We're pretty pinched in offices right now, Ron.
Yeah, there are 2 empty offices right now, and you gave my old office to your son.
He needs it. He's on our summer internship program, and he's doing great things for the company. Yeah.
It just feels like you're taking out your revenge on me.
Can you stand for me, please, Ron?
Right now?
Right now.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna need that seat to be cool for our next meeting. Nobody likes sitting in an already hot seat, all right? Gonna give a pretty big assignment to Dan.
Dan just started last week.
Yep, isn't he amazing?
I don't know, he just started last week.
We done here?
I guess so.
All right.
Just want to make sure that I'm not being treated poorly because I spoke up.
Absolutely not, all right? And I want you to get that out of your mind, Ron.
Okay.
Hey, tell your wife hi for me.
I'm not married.
Okay, well, tell her hi anyway.
We strive to maintain an environment that encourages employees to raise concerns and cooperate in investigations without having to worry about retaliation. It is the company's expectation that every employee speak up if they suspect illegal, unethical, or improper conduct in or related to the workplace. Supervisors and managers are encouraged to foster an environment where employees feel comfortable raising concerns without the fear of retaliation. No employee at any level is permitted to engage in retaliation in any form against any employee. We are committed to maintaining a work environment in which all individuals are treated with respect and dignity. We do not tolerate retaliation in the workplace or any work-related settings, such as business trips or business-related social events. Next is a video on the topic of bullying, harassment, and discrimination.
Today we're going to talk about respect.
Hey, give me a hug.
That's okay, a handshake's good.
You know what? I respect the out of that.
That's kind of what we're talking about. We work in a values-based environment. The key is to make sure no one feels uncomfortable in the workplace.
Oh, don't worry about me. It's the folks in IT you gotta watch. Bunch of dopes with their Velcro wallets and mind control.
That was uncomfortable.
I was just playing.
Whatever your intent, those kinds of biases can make for a hostile work environment. You shouldn't make judgments about a group based on something that isn't relevant to the job they do.
Come on, pal. Stop being such a on a horse.
Language can be construed as a form of verbal harassment.
No, people love it when I swear, especially the new hires. Hello, new hires. You look good.
You definitely made them uncomfortable. Have you ever considered they might not like that?
They love me.
Okay, that can't possibly be true.
Maybe, but everybody loves to laugh. Tickle party!
Imposing yourself on someone physically, whatever the intent, contributes to an uncomfortable workplace.
But I keep things loose around here. Have you seen my fun emails and the pictures in my office?
I can never unsee that. Posting or sending inappropriate pictures can create an unfriendly work environment.
Says who? Have you been listening to Bob over there? He's a green guy. You know what they say about green guys, right?
You definitely shouldn't single anyone out because of their race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, age, ancestry, or anything else along those lines.
You're right. I'll apologize to Bob after lunch. Join me. You can talk about harassment and maybe I'll buy you lunch. Or 2 lunches. If you don't come, the odds of you getting that promotion from me are not very good.
Okay, first of all, I don't work for you. Second of all, that kind of quid pro quo, favors in exchange for career advancement, that's harassment.
My bad. Last thing I want to do is make anyone feel uncomfortable.
That's easy. Be fair, be respectful. Don't discriminate.
How about I put on a blindfold so I don't know what anyone looks like? Back to work. Ow.
Just remember, our differences are what make us a stronger, more inclusive company. We expect a workplace where everyone feels welcome.
Got it. We are a value-based workplace. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to work.
Look out! Ow!
Oh. Ow, ow, ow,
Respect and trust are the cornerstones of any relationship, especially those relationships in the workplace. Without them, productivity and talent retention take a big hit. We all deserve to be treated with respect and dignity, and when we are not, it affects our job performance and our motivation to excel at our jobs. To that end, DFA's goal is to maintain an environment that is free from any unwelcome or offensive conduct that has the purpose or effect of creating an intimidating, offensive, or hostile work environment. Remember, unwelcome does not mean involuntary. A person may consent or agree to certain conduct and actively participate in it, even if it is offensive and objectionable. Therefore, sexual conduct is unwelcome whenever the person subjected to it considers it unwelcome. We believe there are 3 key ways to maintain a work environment free of bullying, harassment, and discrimination, and that includes being positive, professional, and productive. All right, let's test your knowledge. Stephanie rolls her eyes and interrupts Missy when she speaks during a staff meeting. She also frequently yells at her. Missy no longer expresses her ideas or opinions that could benefit the team. Could this be considered bullying? Yes, workplace bullying occurs when an employee experiences a severe or recurring pattern of mistreatment from others in the workplace that causes harm or affects a person's work. It can include such tactics as verbal, nonverbal, psychological, physical abuse, and humiliation. All of Stephanie's recurring behavior, such as rolling eyes, interruptions, and yelling, could be a form of bullying. And another, test your knowledge. John has been receiving inappropriate suggestive memes from Jane through text. John has told Jane to stop sending them, but she continues to send them anyway. Could this be a form of harassment? Yes, because this is a continual form of unwanted behavior. It doesn't matter who makes the offensive gesture. It could be a manager, a coworker, or even a non-employee, like a client, contractor, or vendor. If the person's conduct creates a hostile work environment or interrupts an employee's success, it could be considered sexual harassment. DFA is committed to offering all employees a workplace that treats people with dignity and respect. The bullying, harassment, and discrimination policy supports a respectful workplace that recognizes and welcomes differences, promotes diversity, encourages communication and employee engagement, and offers feedback and recognition, as well as supporting collaboration and teamwork and providing a safe and healthy workplace for all. It's all about respect. Next is a video about the Integrity Helpline.
You have reached the Ethics and Compliance Helpline. Your call is not being recorded, and no attempt is being made to determine the number or location from which you are calling. An operator will take...
Hey, buddy.
I was just making a haircut appointment. 4:30 on Friday would be perfect for my haircut appointment at your haircut store.
Are you coming to the meeting, Barry?
Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. I have an idea. Bye-bye. Excuse me. I'll give you $20 if you make a phone call for me.
What?
Yeah, it's really easy. All I want you to do is call up my company's helpline and read this.
I don't think
How about
so.
$50?
I don't think
It's
so.
really simple. It's $50. I'll give you $50. You can negotiate?
I don't really like the idea of ratting someone out, and I want to make sure this is anonymous.
This helpline is operated by a third-party vendor, and all calls are completely confidential.
Really? Because this sounds a lot like Maureen from HR. Is this Maureen?
No, ma'am. I don't work for your company.
Oh, I know who this is. This is Monica. Monica with the red hair. We sat next to each other at the holiday party. We were talking about Janet's crazy outfit. Remember that?
Again, ma'am, I don't work for your company. Unless it makes you more comfortable to think of me as Monica, then fine. I'm Monica.
That's completely a joke Lydia would tell. Is this Lydia? You just sniff once if it is. Like that.
If you see or hear something that may not be in line with our code of conduct, or if you suspect unethical conduct in your work environment, raise it. Raise concerns early without the fear of retaliation, because your voice can make a difference. Our first suggestion is to contact your supervisor or manager with any questions or concerns. If you are uncomfortable asking your question or discussing your concern with your supervisor, talk to any manager you trust at your location or a member of the Human Resources team. If you prefer, you can contact the Ethics and Compliance Group at 816-801-6141. If you prefer not to report through those channels, you can use the company-wide Integrity Helpline. The helpline is managed by an independent third party, Ethics Point, and therefore, if desired, you may remain anonymous. You can utilize the Integrity Helpline by calling 1-855-RAISE-IT or by visiting www.dfamilk.ethicspoint.com.